Welcome back to Aarambh Dev Hub. This is episode 4 of the Gupti series. We have our data contracts from episode 2 and our encryption module from episode 3. Today we build the storage layer. The secret vault. This is where the one-time semantic actually lives. Not in the UI, not in the handlers. The atomic behavior that ensures only one person can reveal a secret happens right here in the store. By the end of this episode, you will understand why DashMap is perfect for this use case, how atomic take operations work, and how background cleanup prevents memory bloat from expired secrets. Before we dive into concurrent storage, a quick reminder. Subscribe to the channel if you are learning from this series. Join our Discord for community discussions. And support the work on Buy Me a Coffee, links in the description. Now let us build the vault. First, let us discuss why we chose DashMap instead of a standard HashMap with Mutex. A Rust HashMap is not thread safe by default. To share it across async tasks and request handlers, you would need to wrap it in something like Mutex HashMap. That works, but has a significant performance cost. With Mutex, every read and every write locks the entire map. If you have 10 concurrent requests, they all wait for each other. That is a bottleneck. DashMap solves this with sharded locking. Instead of one big lock for the whole map, DashMap splits the map into multiple shards. Each shard has its own lock. If two requests access different keys, they likely hit different shards and can proceed in parallel. For a secret sharing app where we expect many concurrent creates and reveals on different slugs, this is exactly what we need. High read and write concurrency without a single global lock. DashMap provides the same API feel as HashMap. You get insert, get, remove, iter, and other familiar methods. But internally, it handles the locking for you with much better performance characteristics. The version we use is DashMap 6.1, which is the latest stable release. Before we dive into implementation, let us define the interface. We create a SecretStore trait with 3 methods. First, insert. This takes a secret struct and stores it. Used when creating a new secret. Second, take. This takes a slug string and returns an option of secret. If the slug exists, it returns the secret and removes it from the store in one atomic operation. If the slug does not exist, it returns none. Third, remove expired. This iterates through all secrets and removes any where expires a T is in the past. Used by the background cleanup task. Notice the take method name. It is not get. It is take. This name signals that the operation consumes the entry. You take it out, you own it, it is gone from the store. Why define a trait instead of just using DashMap directly? Abstraction. If we later want to switch to Redis or SQLite, we implement the same trait. The handlers and business logic do not need to change. They just call methods on something that implements SecretStore. Now let us walk through the DashMap store implementation. The struct wraps a DashMap with string keys and secret values. We derive clones so it can be shared across handlers through AppState. For the insert method, we simply call self-map insert with the slug as key and secret as value. DashMap handles all the internal sharding and locking. For the take method, we call self-map remove with the slug. Remove returns an option of the key-value pair. If the entry existed, it returns some with the key and value. If not, it returns none. This is the critical operation for one-time semantics. Remove is atomic. Between checking if the key exists and removing it, no other thread can interfere. Either your thread wins and gets the secret, or it was already taken and you get none. Compare this to a get then remove approach. If you first call get to check existence, then call remove, there is a gap. Another thread could remove it between your get and remove. You would think you have it, but then remove fails. This is a classic time of check time of use bug. DashMap remove avoids this entirely. One atomic operation. First thread wins. Everyone else sees none. For the remove expired method, we iterate through all entries and collect slugs where expires at is before current UTC time. Then we remove each expired slug. We use retain or manual iteration depending on what feels clearer. Now let us put this store into the application state. A pad is a struct that holds the shared resources handlers need. It includes an arc-wrapped DashMap store and an arc-wrapped AppState. Why arc? Because AXM clones the state for each request handler. Arc allows multiple handlers to share the same store and config without copying them. Clone on arc just increments a reference count. We also derive clone on AppState so AXM can do its thing. When the server starts, we create one DashMap store instance, wrap it in arc, create AppState, and pass it to the router. All handlers receive this same state through AXM extractors. This is the idiomatic pattern for shared state in AXM. You define your state struct, implement clone using arc for any shared resources, and use the withState method on your router. Secrets have expiry timestamps. If nobody reveals a secret before it expires, it should be cleaned up automatically. We do not want old expired secrets accumulating in memory forever. This is where the background cleanup task comes in. At server startup, we spawn a Tokio task that runs in an infinite loop. Each iteration does three things. First, sleep for the cleanup interval, which we set to 60 seconds by default. Second, call store.remove expired to sweep any expired entries. Third, log how many entries were removed for operational visibility. The code looks like this conceptually. Tokio spawn an async block. Inside the block, loop forever. Sleep for duration from config. Call remove expired. Log the result. Why 60 seconds? It is a reasonable balance. Frequent enough that expired secrets do not linger too long. Infrequent enough that we do not waste CPU cycles on a nearly empty store. You could make this configurable. For high-traffic systems, you might clean up more frequently. For low-traffic systems, you could do it less often. One important detail. The cleanup task holds an arc clone of the store. So even though it runs independently of request handlers, it accesses the same DashMap. This is safe because DashMap handles concurrent access internally. Let us analyze some potential race conditions and confirm we handle them correctly. Scenario 1. Two users click the reveal link at the same time. Both handlers call store takey with the same slug. Only one call to DashMap remove can succeed. The other returns none. Correct behavior. Scenario 2. A user clicks reveal just as the cleanup task runs. If the secret is not expired, cleanup ignores it. User gets the secret. If the secret just expired, cleanup might remove it first. User gets a not found response. This is correct behavior either way. Scenario 3. A create request and reveal request arrive simultaneously for different slugs. They operate on different keys, likely different shards, no interference at all. Full parallel execution. Scenario 4. A create request and reveal request for the same slug. This would only happen if someone guesses or predicts the slug, which is extremely unlikely with UUID-based generation. But even so, DashMap handles it. Whichever operation completes first wins. The point is that DashMap combined with atomic remove gives us correct concurrent behavior without complex manual locking. For operational awareness, We add tracing logs in key places. When a secret is created, we log the slug and expiry time at info level. When a secret is revealed, we log the slug. When cleanup runs, we log how many secrets were removed. We use structured logging with the tracing crate. This means we can include fields like slug, count, or expires that are machine parsable. In production, these logs help you understand traffic patterns. How many secrets are being created? How many are revealed versus expiring without reveal? How much memory churn the cleanup task handles? Good observability starts early. Adding logs during development means you have them when debugging production issues later. Quick recap of this episode. We explained why DashMap is better than Mutex HashMap for concurrent access. We defined a SecretStore trait for abstraction. We implemented DashMap Store with atomic insert, take, and remove expired operations. We assembled AppState with arc-wrapped shared resources. And we built a background cleanup task for TTL enforcement. The storage layer is now complete. Secrets can be stored, retrieved atomically once, and cleaned up automatically when expired. Next episode, we wire everything together. Axiom handlers, routes, middleware stack, and server startup. The backend becomes fully functional. That wraps up the storage layer. If concurrent programming concepts clicked for you today, subscribe for more content. Join the Discord to discuss DashMap patterns, and support the series on Buy Me a Coffee, all links below. See you next episode. See you in episode 5.